The slide thing is really working out. So I'll just tell you very quickly. The idea I'm working with here today is ridiculing Pakistan, not rethinking Pakistan. And that's a deeply offensive statement, but I'll justify it, I hope. You can pillory me afterwards if I haven't. On October 18th, 2007, I saw a man's lungs burning. That was the day that Benazir Bhutto had come back to Karachi, the late Benazir Bhutto came to Karachi. I was a news producer for a local news channel at the time. That was my day job. I can't do stand-up comedy full-time because, well, it doesn't pay any bills. Forget about the song. So I had a day job and I was a news producer at the time. And they sent me to the blast site. I was lucky enough, I was fortunate enough to get there after the bomb blast happened. But I still saw enough there that day that I'm still traumatized to this day. But something strange happened to me also that day. As I stood there, trying to unsee things as I was seeing them, I understood for the first time why I did comedy, what it is that makes me do comedy, why I've dedicated so much of my time and energy to comedy. And the thing is, it all kind of goes back to one very bizarre thing, where I always kind of felt that I did comedy because I'm a paranoid narcissist. Alright, that's my personality type, basically. Alright, let me break it down. The paranoid person is someone who thinks everyone is out to get them, which is me. Unfortunately, I also suffer from deep-rooted narcissism, which means I want everyone to come out and get me. Right? So that creates like this interesting dichotomy where all of a sudden I think the whole world's talking about me, and I also think they're not saying anything nice at all, ever. Right? And this creates this need, and you think that, oh, okay, Sami, then maybe you wouldn't go out and perform in front of thousands of people, hundreds of, well, maybe at the start of this evening, tens of people on a good day, and you wouldn't go out and perform in front of these people and invite, more negative opinions. But that's where the paranoid narcissism comes into it. That is kind of like being addicted to having someone come over to your house every day and kick you in the groin really hard. Like it really hurts when it happens, but for a while you have some company. Like that's what it's like to be. And the thing is, like, I just kind of take it back a bit. Like that's why I thought I did comedy. And I've been doing comedy since 2004 up until then. But standing there, covered in blood, covered in enough blood, in fact, that day, that when I got home 4 hours later, my wife thought I had been injured and almost started screaming. I actually stood there and I thought, I need to do comedy. And I know that's a very inappropriate thing to be thinking at a bomb blast site. But part of it is that I know my brain goes in inappropriate places. That's why I do what I do. And I understand that was a problem with me. But I needed to believe that I lived in a world where that wasn't the only thing that happened. Where everything wasn't so serious that everyone died from seriousness, that we could still laugh, and that laughter could still happen for things that were ridiculous. I wanted to believe in the ridiculous, and that was basically what I was trying to do, because like you look at the world around you now, and Pakistan and the whole world, everything's changed. People are so insulated against each other because they don't want to deal with horror anymore. You don't want to deal with the stress. I come from Karachi. All we do. You never see anyone skipping in Karachi, by the way. Nobody walks, like everybody walks like this. Like, it's just angry walking. No, everyone want to get on and get on and get. That's how people walk. You never see anyone traipsing along anymore, if you ever did. Like if you notice the way people drive now, people don't even drive nicely. There's no joy in the travel experience. Everyone drives now with like their knuckles are white and they're kind of there and they're just like, you got in front of me, you got in front of me, you drive right in front of me, you see what you got in front of me, I'm in front of you, you got in front of me, you got in front of me. No one hugs anymore. Nobody. On Eid, have you noticed how people hug now? It's like this defensive posture. That's why the Taliban and Al-Qaeda are so angry, in my opinion, by the way. I think that's the root of their anger. If you think about it, they started off as little boys who were taken away from their mummies. Okay, that's what they were. They were little boys taken away from their mummies and put in these terrorist training camps, surrounded by angry people all day long, all year round. They don't have off days in like Al-Qaeda. There's no terrorist training camps, casual Fridays, suicide vests and shorts. You don't have that. It's just tension and anger all the time. mummy's hands, hugging them so tight that they explode. Now, I'm not advocating that we go out and start hugging members of the Taliban, but you have to admit, it would make a very interesting charter for an NGO, you know, so if anyone wants to set that up, they can go ahead. There's no more physical contact anymore. People don't like touching, people don't like even seeing each other fully. You know how we interact with the world now? With our phones like this. You go to a concert now, and there's a massive, amazing thing happening there, and everyone's looking at it through a 4-inch screen. That's how it is. The whole world, we have become tourists of the now. We would rather experience the now later. That's such a bizarre behavior. It makes no sense. Like, it's gotten to the point where, you know, if the apocalypse happens tomorrow, if Qiyamah happens and the day of judgment begins, and Gog and Magog rise, and Karna the Jal is walking past, and the mountains are as carded wool, and the rivers are as blood, and the sky is roiling with fire, we're all standing there going like, hey, check it out. I posted it on YouTube, can you like it? It's just, even language is devolving, everything's just devolving at this point. Like, it's gone to the point where, I used to do a radio show, I was an RJ on a radio channel locally, and I used to know how old my listeners were by the kind of SMS I received. If it was someone in my age bracket, like the 30 and above, it would be a very punctuated SMS, proper punctuation, grammar would be taken care of, spellings would be attended to. If it was someone under the age of 20, it would sound like R2D2 having a heart attack. How is that communication? How do you say I love you in that language? I, heart, you, colon, capital P, like what are you doing? We've got this thing now, people don't even say like, hey, have you heard GT? Who's heard the phrase GT? It's short for get together. We're so busy and we don't want to communicate with each other for too long, so we abbreviated get together. How lazy are we? It's gone to the point now where it won't be, hey, how are you doing? Fine, thanks yourself. HHYD, hey, FTY. It just keeps, language will keep devolving and it'll just become a series of grunts and thuds. You walk up to a girl, she looks beautiful, you want to tell her she looks pretty, you go. On devolving, it won't stop there. It just become a thing where it'll just be signs by the end of it. That's what hieroglyphics in ancient Egypt were, by the way. The language devolved to the point where hieroglyphics were basically an invitation to a GT at Tutankhamun's house. You know, like that's what it was. We become shallow. Everyone's so shallow. I am so shallow. I will openly admit it. I am so shallow, I make myself sick. I nauseate myself with my shallowness. Do you know how dirty you are depends on how much money I'm going to give you if you are asking me for money? That's how disgustingly shallow I am. I mean, basically, if there's a beggar or a homeless person who comes up to me and he's got a sense of dignity and self-worth and he's like, you know, I'm not going to look dirty. I'm going to have pride in my appearance. I'm not giving him any money. Like, how much charity you elicit from me depends on how many flies are around you. Like, if there's the right amount of flies, I'll give you some money. If there's too many flies, get away, I don't want to be a part of that. And if there's too few flies, like, oh, where are you working part-time that you're too good for the flies, you know? That's how disgusting my behavior has become, and that's not just me, it's everyone. We're disconnected. We're disconnected from the country we live in, we're disconnected from the people. We look at Pakistan, and we look at the problems, and whenever we try talking about them, we get defensive and we bury it all under a blanket of patriotism. That's what we're doing now. It's just, right away, it's just patriotism. We've become like the parents of that obnoxious kid. You know the kid who's in the park with all the other kids, and he shoves the other kids down, and he starts peeing in the pool. And the parents are there, you turn to the parents, like, aren't you going to do something? And the parents are always like, we're so proud of you, beta. We love him. And everyone's like, dude, those parents are weird. But those parents, look in their eyes, there's panic in their eyes. Because those parents are thinking, if we don't keep saying I love you, we're going to have to deal with this. I don't want to deal with this. Pakistan is that obnoxious kid now, and we are those idiot parents. Like, we need to get past this. We need to deal with the reality of our country. We need to stop thinking about conspiracy theories all the time. We've all become Uncle Munawwar. You know Uncle Munawwar? Uncle Munawwar is this uncle in my family. And I firmly believe that Uncle Munawwar is an uncle in everyone's family. And the way you identify Uncle Munawwar is by the fact that he believes in conspiracy theories. Right? Every conspiracy theory ever, Uncle Munawwar believes in. And we always made fun of him, what a weird uncle. Uncle Munawwar in my family used to believe that a homeless person living near his house on the street was a CIA spy sent to spy on him because he once saw that man holding a Dawn newspaper. The English newspaper, he's definitely a spy. You know, we always made fun of him. Until the thing is, like, some of his things started coming true. Like, he told us about drone attacks before we knew about drone attacks. And then he used to say, like, there are CIA agents running around Lahore killing people. We just laughed at him, and then that thing happened. So, I'm just wondering at this point, like, what's going on with the CIA? Like, what is happening with the CIA that Uncle Munawwar has all the information? That's definitely a leak or something. Unless right now there's a meeting going on in the basement of the White House, and it's Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and the Joint Chiefs of Army Staff, and they're all standing around this big table. And there's the world map, and the armies of the world are there, Pakistan's in the center. And Hillary Clinton turns to Barack Obama, and she says, Mr. President, if you give the go-ahead, we can wipe Pakistan off the map right now. Mr. President, what do you say? And Barack Obama thinks, he considers, and then he says, I need to turn and ask my most trusted advisor. Uncle Munawwar, what do you think? The world sees us as a scary, scary place now. The world is really frightened of us. Like, everyone with a Pakistani passport knows this. Our passport is basically turned into a voucher for free rectal exams redeemable at every airport in the world. You know? I recommend Singapore Airport, small hands, very comfortable. But that's how it is. The world sees us as very, very frightening. I get emails because I put my comedy up on YouTube in a desperate attempt to become more popular. I said all I get is just hate mail all the time, but you know, I tried. And I get mail sometimes from people from outside Pakistan. And they have the strangest questions about Pakistan. One guy emailed me. He actually emailed me this. He said, hey, do all Pakistanis live in caves? Okay, you're not getting it. He emailed me to ask me about Pakistanis live in caves. How did he I was getting my Wi-Fi? Was there like a router nailed to a stalactite or something? There was another guy, another girl, actually, guy emailed me and he said, hey, why do all women in burqa look like ninjas? Like because of the black thing and just the eyes visible. And I explained, I said, look, you know, not all Muslim women wear the burqa, some do, some don't. And the reason why they look like that is because all Muslim women are trained in the ancient and honorable art of ninjutsu and carry shurikens and katanas and Now, I thought I was helping Muslim women around the world not be harassed. Instead, they banned the burqa in France. So I'm kind of sorry about that. I think that's something to do there. And then this one woman emailed me and she said, hey, do Pakistanis have sex? Where did she think I came from? Like software of cloning, or like maybe she thought like I grew from a magical pool of amniotic goo, like the orcs in Lord of the Rings, you know. That's why they hate and fear us, by the way. I think it's not because they think we're terrorists; it's because they think Saruman raised us to kill Frodo and Lord of the Ring. The reason I'm doing this idiocy, the reason I'm saying these stupid things, is I firmly believe that the more you laugh at something, the more you take away its power. I believe in the power of the farce. By ridiculing those things that we hold to be so frightening, like our image, like the terrorism, like the things that frighten us on a daily basis, when you make fun of them, they're no longer frightening. You defeat them. The farce always outlives the reality. I firmly believe that. I'm going to tell you one very quick short story and then I'll be done here. This actually happened to me a few months back, and it's a true story. I live in Karachi and I was driving home from work and I got held up. Now if you live in Karachi, by the way, this is just another Tuesday. Like getting held up. If you live in Karachi and have not been held up, then you know, you're a tourist. Or you're the one doing the hold-ups, you know, clearly. But I was driving and I stopped at a red light and this guy came up to me and he put a gun in my face. And he said, give me your phone, give me your wallet. And I gave him the phone, I gave him the wallet. What else could I do? And he took it. And this actually happened, I swear to God. He says, I hope you're not angry, as he turned away. And because I'm an idiot, and I couldn't stop myself from saying things that I shouldn't say, I said, you've taken everything else, leave me my anger. And he laughed. He laughed, so I laughed. And there was a pause, and he gave me back the cell phone, and he gave me back the wallet. And I got really confused. I thought maybe it's a candid camera punch type situation happening. I don't understand what you're doing. And he actually turned to me and he said, you look like a decent person. I'm not going to rob a decent person. And he walked away. This actually happened. And I think what took place there was that the power of comedy caught him by surprise more than the power of the gun had caught me by surprise, just for that one moment. And it created a human connection between us. And that human connection is something we all have to believe in. And that comes from comedy. Because the alternative is too depressing to believe. The alternative is that he's such a bad judge of character, he thought I had a decent personality.